Hey, it's Ryan Speltz, and welcome back to the REConnect Podcast. Today, I have your agent, John Clark, on, and he might not be your agent, but he might be after this one. John's a pretty good dude, and when we were talking before, I asked him to put his purpose into one sentence, and he gave me a few sentences, but I'm going to read it anyway. He said, "My purpose is to simplify the complex world of real estate for you. From navigating paperwork to connecting you with the right resources, I streamline the process, saving you time, stress, and money. My goal is to ensure you have a smooth and successful experience, leaving you more time to focus on what truly matters." And John, I do have to ask, because that is a lot of stuff, right? Like there's quite a few sentences there, quite a few. That's some deep purpose. Where does that come from? How did you get there?
Well, streamlining the process in order for you to concentrate on what's important is, you know, this is one of the most expensive things you'll ever do in your life. It can take a lot of time out of your life and away from important things like your family and your career and things like we talked about prior to this starting to pop up that you just don't know are going to happen to you. It's just I like to be a resource for people, and I've seen a lot. I come from a corporate sales background, and even before that, retail and customer service my entire life. And so I have this really weird feel. I have to treat people good. I want to be a good ending. I want us to, we don't necessarily have to be best friends, but I want you to know that I advocated for you and that I pulled every stop and did everything I could to make that the easiest transaction you've ever had. And one thing that really affected me was 18 years ago when I bought my condo. Honestly, man, when I look back after I got my license 5 years ago, I don't even remember how I bought that damn thing. I don't remember doing the inspection report. I don't remember talking about the things that we needed to probably get fixed in that joint that I ended up fixing, a year later or 2 years later, because I wasn't smart enough to know better. I didn't feel like I had the education. And I think that's downright rude and horrible of people, and it lacks integrity when you can spend somebody's money like that and not explain the steps and break everything down and kind of let them choose whether or not it's a move forward moment or a let's chill out and relax moment. I get that a lot of us, this industry, unfortunately, with it's so easy to get into that we have a lot of people that have never been in customer service or sales or anything related to a consultative sort of approach to what it's, what you should be doing in this scenario, which is asking a few questions and figure out exactly why you need this house, why it needs to be there, and why it needs to be in this price point. All those things are important, and you should expand on them until you have a clear understanding of what that is, and then you can best help them. So I look at clients that way. I look at my peers that way. I look at vendors that way. I look at, if you add value to me, I'm going to help add value to you. And that's with my vendors and everybody. So I love working with the guy on the other side of the deal. I use my social media to really push that. And that's probably where a lot of people end up seeing me or kind of getting a glimpse of what I do, is from going there and seeing that I actually put in the work. I don't just talk about it. I'm out there trying to do things and show love. Like if I saw, after our conversation today, hypothetically speaking, I'm driving through Puerto Rico and I see your listing sign somewhere, dude, I'm going to stop my car on a dime, take a picture with it, and then brag about you in a post on every possible area, probably put you in front of 100,000 people, just because of how much I liked our conversation earlier. And what that does is it bodes well for you. It gets you in front of a bunch of people maybe you weren't in front of before. It also makes other people think, hey, he's a pretty nice guy, man. He likes to shout out people and he's not scared of anybody. Damn, that guy's pretty, a lot of people are like agents. Some agents are scared of that kind of approach because they think it's like me saying, hey, he's so great, use him instead of me. I don't say that. I just tell you how great the guy is and why I like him. And then people kind of take that as, you know what, I kind of like working with people that are like that celebrate other people, that aren't scared of other people or intimidated by other people. I didn't mean to do it that way. It's just, that's how I was brought. I was brought up in a military family where you were supposed to take care of people. And it didn't matter. Think about from a military perspective. If you just had somebody save your life and you turned around, would you care what color they were or gender or anything? I mean, like, really, it's just a matter of, they were there for you kind of thing. So anyway, I just want to, at the end of the day, get out of it, when we're done, know that that I did my best for you and that I separated myself from everybody else who's not everybody else, but a lot of people who may be after your money, or a lot of people who have a different motivation of why you should get that house right now, versus it fitting you perfectly. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's that collaboration instead of competition, like you said, with the agents piece. And then even with the clients, collaborating
it
with
clicked
them to
off in a
get
minute.
them.
Oops,
Oh, there we go.
sorry.
We'll edit 3, 2, 1. So yeah, it's like about that, you were mentioning about the other agents piece. It makes me want to get my real estate license just so that you can shout me out for, we're going to say that up front. Being a
You're probably
mortgage broker, I
smarter
don't
than
get
that.
to put the big signs in the front yard. I don't get the fancy signs, but yeah, like that collaboration instead of competition, right? And that's where creation is born, is creating with someone else. And that's what, it's the concept of this podcast, really. Like, it's bringing people on that it matters to collaborate with. And then, taking that step further to your clients, collaborating with them and helping them really utilize their strong skills and helping out where their weaknesses are, which is generally the understanding the process. They know how to spend their money, but you've sometimes got to tell them, like, hey, don't spend the money in that direction, spend it in this direction. And like, I think that's really awesome to bring that to the level of what you've brought it to. So, a lot of your purpose revolves around the transaction, or what you said in the purpose revolves around the transaction. What does it look like to work with you after the transaction?
Well, the bonus plan is when I'm at the very beginning of this, I kind of go, it borders on cocky or confident, I guess, because I will let you know that I am the most organically followed agent in my state. I've done the research. I do it all the time. Every time I find somebody new, or they do this awards through Property Sparkles, this joke, like these awards that they throw out, these fake awards or whatever for everybody that hypes everybody up. I do my research and I look around. And the reason why I talk about that is because I generally can get your property in front of more people than anybody else. And so I do that, and I create this following around me so people can also see who I am. Like, so I stay connected to them on social. I stay connected to them I'm trying to get better on my systems, funny enough, like you are. That's the one, if I had to say the one thing about me that I need to correct, is the after the sale. Like, they're all in my phone. Everybody has access to me. I told everybody, they have a list of my vendors. So I've got people that literally I trust in the home with my wife, who's been entirely too hot for me for 25 years. By myself, I will let these people in my home. So these are the people that I refer to my clients. And matter of fact, one's meeting me after this podcast at my next door neighbor's house who I'm selling, and he's moving to Columbus to do some contract work for our post inspection. So, but these are all people that I trust. So I'm improving specifically this year on my follow-up game. I stay in touch with them with little text messages here and there, and they see me all through social media because I stay connected that way. I'm fairly certain I'm the most active one in Ohio on almost every platform, specifically on Facebook though. And so I push out that all day long. A little bit about me, a little bit about my business, a little bit about my family, and then a lot about the love and how excited I get about real estate. So yeah, man, that's I don't know if that answered the question too much. I'm not real short of just kind of being genuine and checking in with them and saying hi. I've only been in this for 5 years, and see, I sold 53 last year. I probably sold 100 homes maybe in 5 years. I'm getting there. But every one of them has been through social media and referrals. I don't do cold calling or calling FISBOs or any of that at all. Never have in the entire time I've done this. I was a telephone terrorist. Prior to this, I was #1 in the world for a multi-billion-dollar sales organization before I became a realtor, and I was 120 phone calls all day long. This is way easier to connect with people this way, and they get to see me all day long. One of the best compliments I ever get when people see me out is that I'm exactly the same person they see on TV, like on this. Exactly. I'm an idiot there. I'm overexcited. I go off topic. This is me all the time.
Yeah, no, that's one of the most important pieces. And I think that's what a lot of agents and a lot of lenders and a lot of agents struggle with. A lot of people just in the industry in general is that part, is they think they have to play this role when they're on video, and the video becomes the scariest part for everybody. The putting out information becomes the scariest part because, oh, what if I'm wrong and somebody tells me I'm wrong? And we do coaching sessions, and I do free hour-long coaching sessions for whoever needs one. on something they're stuck on. And generally it becomes revolving, because I am on video often, like just like you, it becomes revolving around that. And they go, well, how do I get over the hurdle of being brave enough to get on camera every day? Well, we've got techniques. Film a 10-minute session where you ask yourself 10 different questions, and now you've got 10 different videos, and you only had to be brave once. Now you've got that piece. And then the other piece is, well, what happens when people come and comment on me? Well, like, are you comfortable in your skin? Because if you are, those don't really matter. And I enjoy them, because it gives us as creators an opportunity to respond to the other side. Because if they're truly creating a counteract to what you said, it may be something you never thought of, and now it changes your mind. Like, oh yeah, you might be right. Let me do some research on that, and go do the research, come back and report to it. Or if they're just plain wrong, now you get to provide more reasons why you were right in the first place. And so, when you spin the view of it, right, you've got this mountain. If you bring the mountain down a little bit, it's only 3 steps away. Like, you take those 3 steps and you're there. So, I think that's super key, and being able to utilize that, from what I'm hearing throughout, while you do the social media game, it's your form of connection, and being able to, like, you're not actively in their living room once a month and stopping in and swimming at the swimming pool with them and anything like that. Yeah, but you're around, you're present, and you're providing information that if they need it, they're going to consume it, and just staying into that connected piece. I think so many agents forget about that, and I know lenders do, because there's a statistic out there that about 86% of people that use a lender would come back to them again, but they don't know their name. So 3 years later, they forget their name. And if you called them and asked them, be like, would you use the same guy? And they say, yes. What's his name? They can't answer that.
Which is easy thing to do is send them something with the rate every month, right? Or something just to touch.
Yeah, something the industry jargon is the touches, but it's more of like
a connection.
Yeah, like you're saying, you're showing them what's going on in your life, and that excites them, and maybe they respond with something that's going on in theirs, or you encourage them to respond with something that's going on in theirs. And it's just a matter of getting past that level of, I'm not all about the dollar and cents. Like, in the transaction, I'm going to save you money. But if we only talk about the money, we're never developing a connection, because I can hand you $100 bill once a month, or we can be connected and actually have a relationship and build something valuable here. So when you say leaving you more time to focus on what truly matters, you mentioned the family and you mentioned the work. How are you fostering that, like in the transaction? Because I know once we get into a transaction, a lot of times we get caught up in the emotion, and agents get caught up, and I'm getting calls like, where's the appraisal? Like, is it back yet? And it's been 3 days, and they're just like frustrated and they want answers. How are you throttling that, or actually building the fact of, like, I got you, don't worry about it? How are you making your clients more comfortable?
By educating them ahead of time, letting them know that that's actually one of the negotiations that we're going to go through. First, we're going to figure out the price. Then we're going to work on that inspection piece. And then after that, the appraisal. And once we get through all that, there's 3 steps in that. And I got you handled on all 3 of those. So, well, and I'm not the guy that's going to let you go way over the price. So, and then have to deal with the short appraisal. I'm not an idiot. Like, I've already went through it. I've already had my head knocked a few times when I got right in the mix, right when I came in 18, shortly thereafter, it went nuts. And I've been for the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the thing that I do the most is I'm consistent on every single thing I do every single day. And it's been the same thing for 5 freaking years. So I wake up and do a motivational post every morning, and it's for 2 reasons. One is I am trying to find my tribe. I know for a fact that people that are after it, CFOs, CEOs, people, who are probably fairly successful, once they get to work, it's a wrap. It's all about the organization. Your life is over until nighttime. That's why a lot of them are divorced and they have a lot of issues. A lot of times, not everybody, a lot of times there's a lot of problems there. I like to take that off the plate. My Google hours actually say 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. I give myself that first hour and a half to work out and kind of get ahead of some stuff. And the second is to show everybody that I got 8 hours in before you go to lunch. Every single day. I've been showing my competitors that. Now, if they hang out, that's cool. I've got a lot of friends, and now it's gone on. It's really catching on every morning. I'm getting a lot more people. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I got some jokers that come in every once in a while, and I'm not trying to be an asshole and shove it up, and be rude to people, but I want them to know, there's people out there. There's so many excuses in this world, but specifically in this industry, about crappy leads and I can't do this and I can't do that. And I'm seeing what the hell these agents are doing, and it's nothing. It's zero. I don't see them on social. I know they're not making phone calls, and all they want is for somebody to throw stuff at them. I see all these stupid posts on the mastermind groups. Hey, what are the best free lead systems where they take you out at close? Blah blah, all that jazz, which is all scumbag. They're all those leads that you're getting are the ones that somebody just clicked on and somebody jumped on them immediately. It's like, oh, you're thinking about moving? Yeah, in 8 years, perfect. Yeah, let me send you to somebody, and then you got to work them and waste your time, and then eventually give all your money away. That's it's disingenuous. I just not hip to it. So I get up early and do my thing, and I'm trying to find my people. So there's genuine connection. And in the last 3 years, my statistics have been as pretty close to 99% of my business comes from social media and referrals, and 95% of that comes from my connection with my EXP agents on Workplace. So I've been building this for 5 years. I've been championing the right agents all over the world, and building relationships and sending business back and forth. And now I've got a ridiculously badass network of real estate ninjas who support me. And they're just like, I feel like you are as well. Someone like you that actually gives a shit about other people. Excuse my mouth, man. I'm sure you're gonna beat this out, but I actually care. I mean, I've got a bad mouth. Sounds like my mom was a trailer. My mom was a truck driver. My dad was a sailor. But heart's in the right spot. Integrity is rock solid. It's just the mouth's a little suspect. But
yeah, no, I hear you. I'm right there with you. But yeah, that referral agent piece, or being that referred agent, right? Like that piece. I think a lot of people don't even know that exists. And there's people, and I went to I would like to call myself the wolf in the hen house. I went to a real estate conference, and I was one of maybe 5 loan originators at the entire conference of 1,100 people, right? There was 1,100 people at the conference. I was one of 5 actual brokers that showed up from the mortgage side. So, not a cheap conference. You show up, that's why people don't go. And the mortgage industry is just as hurting as the real estate industry because it's so disconnected. But you go there, and there's literally agents that do zero lead generation of their own, 0 chasing FSBOs, 0 I'm sure just like what you're talking about, 0 FSBOs, 0 expired, 0 cold calls, 0 meeting people. Like, it's all going to conferences. They go to 12 conferences a year, and they interact and they make fucking connections with actual people. And then these people are like, I want my clients to work with them when they move there, and they exchange information, and they make sure that they remember them. And then they follow up. There was one agent there that had 6,000 agents in her database. She has not made one cold call ever, and all of them get referred in. And she's the managing broker, so she passes it out to her agents as free deals. She has the team set up, and that's how the entire business works. But 6,000 agents.
That's incredible.
Where people think like, where do I get the next buyer? I don't know. Go talk to somebody that could refer you 3 of them. I live in Florida most of the time. That's like, if you're an agent in Florida and you're struggling, it's because you're not doing enough connection with other agents across the country.
Amen.
And I could say that confident.
There are different ways to do this too. Like, that's an incredible way to do it for this person. And the way I personally did it was when I first started in this business. I have Andrew Gadosh. I don't know if you know him, but he's one of the first ones who signed Ohio, right? For that, he came under Albie Stasic. I don't know if you know him and all these guys, Jay Kinder and all them. So right under them, and matter of fact, he sold me my house, and he lives down the street from me, and he owns this neighborhood, pretty much. And back when I first started, that's the only name I saw in Workplace when Dayton, Ohio was mentioned. Now, I know for a fact I'm not taking over Dayton, Ohio in sales from this man, because he's been doing it for 30 years. He's a super good looking cat, and he played UD basketball, which we all love around here. So he's a cool ass guy. He's been fostering, been taking care of this neighborhood for a long time. This is his baby. So I'm not ever after anybody's neighborhood around here. I was after the airways. He was 30 deep, the only person ever mentioned in Dayton, Ohio. Now that's me. So I went and decided to take that from everybody, because it was easier for me to do that, because I'm always on the line doing stuff so I don't have to get back on the phones. But the main thing, and the reason why I think I started the whirlwind of stuff coming to me initially, was there is so much, this is so expensive to be in this business and to stand out, and I make my own content. I've been making my own stuff for 10 years since memes became a thing. I'm even grandfathered into the first meme app, and I've got the most badass setup for that stuff. I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been making motivational stuff and funny stuff for 10 years. And so I make a bunch of badass stuff that I'm already making for me. I take my logo out, slap the EXP one on it, stick it in my Honey Badger group, which is the biggest downline in the company. And I put it out there and say, guys, here you go rock it as your own. Do not tag me. Do not thank me for it. But when Ohio is mentioned and you got a client, holler at your boy first. Here's my information. Because if I can't personally take care of you, I've literally got the most valuable phone in the state of Ohio. If I scroll through my phone, the names that are in my phone from all over the world is already going to smack some people around. But people call me from California to say, hey, you know someone in Michigan? Like, they're not going on Workplace. It's better to call me because I've got the badasses in all these places that I've already vetted. They're not just somebody there's a couple of cats out there they've got like 40 people that are in a group and none of them do anything. And they just try to like, hey, look, and they mention the name 40 times. When you see the people that I refer and that refer me, they're all gangster. I'm like, you'll know, most of the people in the company know who they are. So it's a huge difference. And a lot of agents who don't produce cry about my network because they think it's one of these other suspect ones. But I've been building it for 5 years for this exact reason. And they just need to work on their own skills. So
yeah, and it's all about that connection piece. And that's, coming from the core of that is being able to utilize that is just so important. And that's what the whole thing is about. It's what we're here for. That's why we're talking right now, is to create that connection with somebody you hadn't created a connection with before. And somebody listening, we're out here to create a connection. So if you want to create a connection, we're here to do it. Just do it, do it the right way. Don't come invite me to your damn Facebook page after we add friends 30 seconds later.
Exactly. Talk to me. Everybody that calls me, I'm the kind of person that when you call me and actually ask me about something that I do, like if it's making a meme or something neat that I did or whatever, I actually get fired up because that's where I got to where I am now. By seeing somebody like you do something that I wanted to do, and I'm not scared to call anybody. Dude, how did you do that? Would you have time to give me 5 minutes and let me know what program I needed to do or what classes I should take or what designation I needed to be in this that you're doing? Because, man, I really like it. Dude, people like that stuff, man. And it also validates that the hard work they put in is being seen by somebody, and I'll go above and beyond to help that person because that's a damn good compliment. That's cooler than you sold 1 million homes or you did, all this BS that's out there. It's a genuine. I do it almost every other day. I talk to an agent about something cool that I'm somehow inspired them to do. And I'm like, I feel so unbelievably blessed. I swear, I was on a phone call for 45 minutes before I talked to you with somebody that she only wanted me to help her find a home because nobody could find her one to buy her home. And I talked to her for 45 minutes because she was so like wanting to learn. She just got her license October and just wanted to learn some more and figure some stuff out. And I'm like, here you go.
Like if you're going to listen to it, I'm going to say it. That's for sure. You got 2 guys on here that aren't afraid to talk. So, well, I appreciate that, man. I think you're like, obviously we're on the same wavelength there. And I hope that kind of impacted some people because I think this is a different type of episode. Obviously you talk fast and I generally am talking slower on. No, I love it because that's like, it allows me to match the energy. And I think a lot of times I get caught up in okay, I got to slow down and catch up. But like, I love the fast talking. So I got one more fast talking question for you and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure.
What is one of the largest global challenges that you wish to resolve and work on? And this can either revolve around real estate or just be global in the world.
There's so many things to really, so many world problems and issues. Honestly, I just wish we could all get back to. If I could tackle one thing, I'd just be like, man, try to act like you're somebody else's shoes. That's about it. There's not a lot of respect in the world now, I think. So if we can get back to that and try to look at other people's situations,
Yeah. You're not the first person to say that in these recordings and they keep coming up in slightly different ways, but that's the majority of the core of that is let's think about somebody else and leave them. I always harken back. I interviewed Bob Berg, the author of The Go-Giver, on one of my podcast episodes, which was one of the coolest experiences of my life. But that guy, I asked him for something to leave us with, and what he left us with was leave the person that you're interacting with better off afterwards. And if you
Yeah.
can enter into that situation and you can enter into every scenario and think that way, you're going to win. And so are they. And that's what we all want to do anyway. So why not help each other do it? So
If you're different, you learn from them. You don't have to, it's not a bad thing to be different. So, anyway, thank you, brother.
absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. And yeah, so hopefully we get you back on, maybe on the One Man's Journey podcast as well, because I think you got a cool story there with what you broke into a little bit here on this one.
Anytime, man. Appreciate it.